another disaster save as Russia. This one's interesting because it's a combination of a newer player using a maximum strength in Germany. You can see the results, so let's see what went wrong and if we can fix it.
They've blown out one of our engines. Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it.
So from his email, but I think you can see it here as well, we come down to the first problem. I had 5 full armies to protect the Stalin line. Now, the Stalin line runs from Riga to Vitebsk, and then from Vitebsk down to Kiev, and down to the Black Sea along the river. That's a very wide front, and 5 armies, as the Soviet Union, is just not a lot of men. In fact, it's about half of what you'd want, even against a non-strengthened Germany. So, fairly new player, I think you've underestimated just what you need. And as a result, we are not having a lot of fun right now. So we'll need to find ways to fix this. And being a fairly new player, I think you've got caught with your pants down here. These units should definitely not have been left behind. If you notice that there's a breach anywhere in your chosen defensive line, choose a new defensive line and reroute your troops. Don't just allow an encirclement of, 40 divisions to happen, because that's going to hurt. Second, your industry. Now, you have 105 civs, which is decent considering like a good portion of your country is occupied. What I am disappointed with is your military factories. 57 mills just isn't a lot. And the problem is, even if significant numbers of them were built in the areas that have been occupied, 1, they shouldn't have been built there, and 2, you should still have way more than this. So we'll need to fix the situation. Now for your templates, you are using tanks. You said I'm using 30 width tanks. However, your tanks are 32 width tanks. 30 width for tanks is good. It's decent. 35 width is probably slightly better. However, 30 width works. One thing you gotta pay attention to is the organization. If you run tanks, you need org. Tanks have lower org than their supporting infantry. So depending on what doctrine you've taken, you need more or less trucks. In this case, we need more trucks because org is not high enough. So I removed the tank, added a truck, and we're getting rid of the self-propelled anti-air. 30 width with at least 30 org. Is this perfect? No, but it will do. As for the self-propelled anti-air, never add it. Never ever in single player ever add any more anti-air than support anti-air. You don't need more. Trust me, you really don't. These will be your tanks. This is your basic infantry. Support companies are fine. It's chunky. It's not bad, but we have a problem. I don't have enough guns. Nor do I have enough men. A quick and dirty solution would be to remove 2, bring them down to 21 width, my preferred size. Would give me a couple more guns to work with, but I don't think it will be sufficient. A far dirtier solution would be to remove even more, bring it down to 15 width. We still have decent organization, decent stats. Well, decent, we have half the hit points, but it's way cheaper and we can make way more. And we're gonna need way more troops. So I'm going to try and produce these. I'm gonna try. We're gonna take all the units trapped here and split them off. Yeah, 41 divisions and 2 tanks. Pain. Well, that should free up some equipment to train new units. As far as defensive positions go, your initial plan for the Dnieper line was great. Perfect defensive setup. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed, so we need to do some thinking. It is possible, if we can hold Pskov, to hold a line from Pskov towards this railway there, so we can hold on to Pskov, Novgorod, and the north, stack some units on Narva to hold that very narrow front, and then follow a defensive line preserving Moscow along the river, and then heading down along this bend here down to Rostov. One problem I see though is that you just don't have enough units, and it's pretty important that we get everybody into position to try and get to Pskov and the rest of the front lines. Withdraw, don't get any more troops encircled. We are leaving. Everyone's leaving. This is just a mess. It's a giant mess. Politics. We are going straight to total mobilization and women in the workforce to offset that loss of manpower. We are firing Yezov. He's just not good. That will give us the stability back. We'll probably get either Iron Lazar, but he's not that good either, or the elusive gentleman gentlemen, you've lost most of your other good characters, I guess, in purges, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Other than that, things are fine. You're just using what you've got, which is okay. Intelligence agency. So Trotsky's gone. Perfect. Where are your spies? In Germany. I also want them to be in Germany, but I prefer for them to be near the front lines. So the closer they are to the front, they remove the enemy's planning bonus, making it easier for us to defend, and they remove the enemy entrenchment, making it easier for us to attack, so I ought to move them closer to the front. Research. Excavation. It's almost done, might as well. Same for rubber. You don't really need rubber processing. You can buy all of the allied rubber, and that's fine, but it's almost done. Good, I guess, but a little late to be getting it now. I prefer to actually grab these, because you're gonna need the extra defense this gives you. So we'll focus on improving the infantry and the artillery, probably, so I'll take a look at what that looks like. Yeah, we're a little behind here, so we need to catch up. Industry is also fine. Air is looking fine. Tanks are also fine. All right, so nothing too bad here. I wouldn't just wouldn't go with rubber processing. It's not worth it. You can get to all of that allied rubber very easily. Production. More guns. Everything else is reasonable. No anti-air. Bye-bye. Higher priority on trucks and trains. Don't need that much mech. Just need some of it. And we'll peel some tanks away to make sure we can actually make the other stuff. We can add more factories once we can get more factories. And those can go to air. Speaking of air, we have some airplanes. Let's reposition them to do the most good. Want them over Novgorod and Moscow, probably. Speaking of air, what does your design look like? It's all right. I would add self-sealing fuel tanks. Yeah, you can afford the weight, and it definitely helps. Then design companies. I'm not going to do all of these. In general, you want things that make you more stuff. So whatever gets you more output, whatever gets you more soft attack, and breakthrough for tanks, I guess. I'm sure there's somebody with a lovely guide on the design companies. I am not a spreadsheet nerd, so I don't know what the absolute perfect best thing is for each of these, so sorry. Let's see if we can disengage from the enemy and do this right. This is gonna be spicy. Yeah, it's important that we disengage immediately. We're gonna have to do this manually, because if we don't, units are going to get trapped in positions we don't want them to be trapped in. We're also gonna need more troops. Now, I did disband, did reduce the division size, so we can get a couple of extra boys out. Not that many, but we get some extras. In some positions, I'm gonna need to cheese it. Well, last stand memes, I'm sure you're familiar with them. If you're not, select the unit, separate them into their own little army, pick a general, any general, and hit last stand. It's a very cheap way to buy yourself 7 days. Crimea is secure, more or less. Just a couple more divisions that I need to pull out that are making this the world's worst routing mistakes. Just gotta hold long enough for the extra divisions to come in. I am training them, I just need a little bit of time. Keep queuing up additional armies. More men, more men, more men. Always need more men. We've held on for about 2 months here, but I've had to make a couple of changes. Down south, it's reasonably okay because there is no supply for the invaders. I can sit on my river with limited opposition. Just Rostov is going to be a flashpoint, so I'm cycling last stands here, and I've diverted 2 tanks to the city. The extra strength of those tanks should allow me to hold that tile easily. The other tiles, no problem, because they just don't have any supply. And as we progress more towards Moscow, the situation changes. So there is more German strength here, but then again, there is also more Russian strength here. I've deployed my units on the plains here to shield the supply hub just south of Moscow, or just south of Ryazan. It's working so far. Moscow itself is also relatively well shielded, and I have been able to just squeeze out 3 more armies of, again, these are not the world's greatest troops, but I can make these. I can make a lot of these. 1 army to the north, I've had to give up Narva and Pskov just to shorten the line and draw them into worse terrain. So I'm closer to my own supply hubs and I can actually hold that line now. And I've had to yield more of this railway line as well, simply because between Kalinin and Novgorod, I think, there's very little supply. So I've had to draw back to this fallback line so that there is at least some supply coverage from the northern supply hub. And by some, that's still not enough. It's really a troublesome area, but I think I can hold this. I'm still recruiting more men. We don't have a lot of equipment, but I'm making more and more and more and more. And factories are starting to come online. So more factories is going to help. On to the more bonuses for production, more factories. I need more stuff. stuff. I don't want to give up Novgorod, that's 5 factories, but I might just have to fall back all the way to Leningrad and the other river here. Because if I yield Novgorod, fall back to Leningrad, I can hold that very easily. And as long as I can also hold the Volkov supply hub, I can shorten the line even more, but I would be giving up a lot in this state. I want to fight on a little bit longer just to see if I can hold it. And if it's required, I'll just cheese a couple more last stands then. My puppet here is being very weird. I'm going to request 24 of their divisions and reorganize them a bit because the puppets just pulled everything off the front line for reasons I will never understand. I need to make sure they get back to the front line immediately. You're going to reconfigure towards this line. I think that's far away from all of the supply hubs that the Germans can't really resupply themselves. We're going to start withdrawing towards these positions. I just hope I'm not making things more difficult on myself. I'm very annoyed that I'm giving up Novgorod, so I'll just blow it up when we're leaving. And strategically redeploy. I know that it means they arrive with no org, but if I don't strategically redeploy, they'll simply not arrive in time and they'll constantly be harried by the enemy trying to attack the units. I'd rather them get there on time and then start getting a little bit of org, getting a little bit of entrenchment. Okay. That is probably slightly safer, and just in case I should prepare like a fallback railway link, but I can't right now. I don't have what it takes to do that. How's our casualties looking? So we're up to 1.1 million casualties, which is not great, but we've killed 1.6 million Germans, so we are coming out ahead here. I'm a little dismayed that the allies really aren't doing anything, if I'm honest. So I'm building a bit of a fallback railway here to basically supply Leningrad from the other side should my defense here fail. I'm not having fun. I really need more troops, but the industry is struggling. I'm trying to build more factories, but you really haven't given me all that much to work with, have you? The AI can't help but get itself encircled. So this is the first encirclement of the campaign. I got some Germans trapped up in northern Norway. So at least that front is now secure. Germans have stopped attacking, mostly I think because, well, they don't have any supply anywhere, and our fronts are pretty well shored up now. I can start planning the counterattack. I think my first stroke will come from Rostov. Armored push up north towards the other end of the line and cut off that bulge, and then head towards Stalino, Dnipropetrovsk. Encircle and destroy is going to be the name of this campaign if we are to clap back. Unfortunately, I have lost a significant income in terms of army experience. I would very much like to get some doctrines, but at least while I'm not being attacked, I'm not going to die. So this is a very welcome breather. 50 more days to hold Moscow. I think we can do that. We will get all the other Defend X missions as well. So Moscow, Leningrad, Stalingrad. Yeah, we'll hold. We even got green air with our limited air force. So you have built up a very good air force. I will commend you for that. We are holding green skies pretty much everywhere. Even though our production has been reduced to pretty much nothing, we just shoot down way more planes than we lose. Moscow stands. I'll call that a victory. Moscow shall remain ours, despite not having any supply in the region. This is the Russia experience, I guess. I'm already doing better than I thought I would be. So the point to surviving Barbarossa is either you form an impenetrable wall on the Stalin line, or you make use of Russia's horrible supply network to trap the Germans between their supply lines, that being very far away, and you sitting right on your hub. Sweet, I just noticed a bunch of factories came back online. Yes. So you had the Defense of Russia mission, Defense of Moscow mission, which means a lot of these states around Moscow had a -100 penalty to factory. Like this modifier essentially, but for the entire Moscow region, so everything in that area. So we were missing a lot of factories in that area, and we got those back now. So we'll rebuild the air force and then ramp up production of mostly tanks and artillery, I'm thinking. I'm gonna try and take the Tula supply hub and then plug it into my own network, obviously. That should deprive the Germans of supply directly near Moscow and ease pressure on me, and I think that is going to be beneficial to me in the long and the short term. So see if we can counterattack here a little. I think we'll be able to punch through if I could just concentrate my armor a little bit more. Yeah, if we take Tula, all of these guys starve. Ooh, they were ready for me. Okay. We'll just have to surround Tula then. With the supply hub in Tula threatened, they're already hurting a little bit. Now if I can just take it. Take it. It's yours. I'd very much like to take it, but no such luck. Let's halt this. They're responding with too many units. It was a good idea. I'm gonna redirect any and all remaining casts to the Kuban region, to the south here. I'm gonna go for it. 3 tanks from the south pushing up towards the north, and 3 tanks from the north are gonna push south towards Rostov. We're gonna try and create an encirclement here to destroy those units. More tanks are on the way, but I'm gonna wait until they're actually, trained, so I'm not using green tanks. And we're gonna start our counterattack. I think we're in a position where we can start pushing. We're just not gonna use like the big field marshal orders to do the pushing. That will be too expensive. I'm gonna make select encirclements with the tanks, and hopefully as we get more army XP, I can make my army a little bit better. As we get more equipment, I'll be able to upgrade the tank divisions to make them even stronger. We are going to get out of this one, and we should be able to push north with these guys. Leningrad stands. Yep, I knew that. And we'll roll. A little bit of cast definitely helps. It's not much, but, air power is very powerful. Let's see. Come on. Keep rolling. Keep the tanks rolling. Oh, they're being pinned. They're being horribly pinned. Come on. Make the crossing. Make the crossing. Oh, this is obnoxious. They're pinning me. No, they're reinforcing the tiles now. We're not crossing that river. That's simply not happening. Well, if the south isn't working, we'll try the north. This is a nice start. A little baby offensive. A little treat. They do this every time. I know. It's how the game works, and it makes sense. And why wouldn't they reinforce their units? It's annoying. Okay, so that's not working either. The fall of Rome. All right, looks like Italy is at least going to die as usual. No matter how much you buff the Axis, Italy is going to be bad. That's cool. Myself, though, I'm floundering a little, mostly because I'm not really sure what to do. I want to take the Tula hub, deny them supply there. And I want to take the Stalino hub, deny them supply there. But the downside of having really defensible terrain means that in most places, I have to cross that same river that's protecting me. And honestly, that's kind of annoying. Plus, despite being very, very weakened, the Germans are still putting up one hell of a fight everywhere. I'm not really sure why or how they're doing it. Anyway, we're gonna encircle Tula. And now that they no longer have a link to the main supply hub, we should be able to push it, plug it into our own network, and most of these guys will now no longer have supply. So I'm going to chip away at their supply lines bit by bit until we're ready to just bring the pain full scale. We've lost desperate measures. That means I can now next focus go for lessons of war, finally, and then fix up my doctrines. Good. I should probably plug it into my railway, or instead of doing that, I could just start pushing south and just reclaim my railway. Even the infantry should be able to win these battles. Well, let's get pushing. Come on. Straight for Stalino, if you will. Pinning attacks. Expand the front southwards. Go, 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 go. I got some units there, but I should be able to dislodge them with my armor. Prevent them reinforcing the tile. Cut the reinforcements. Pinning attack. And is it taken? Oh, they got a unit in. But it's taken now. They got another unit in. How are they doing this? Oh, it's so frustrating that they can keep getting units in there somehow. But no, this is no. They got another one in there. How are they doing this? Nah, we'll take the tile. All right, so we've got Stalino. This literally cuts off everything in the south. That's not right next to Kharkiv. Now then, we set up for a push from Stalino straight north to there. Heading north. Gotta find a weak spot. This is going to be good, but I need to be able to close it. And that is sort of what I'm afraid of, that I might not be able to close it because they are funneling a whole lot of divisions into this area. Ah, it's done! It is done. We close the pocket. Now get the tanks in there to keep the pocket closed and finish them off. Oh, that's a good start. That is a great start. So, the south secured. Everywhere else also secured, but this is where we deal the first real blow to the enemy. We kill them now. Oh yes, we're now going to close that last pocket. What's this, 20 divisions? Maybe 30 in total? We've already killed a few with overruns and smaller encirclements resulting from this, but this is a good start. That is about 30, maybe even 40 divisions. That was well over 40 divisions, actually. I just saw a few overruns, and they're still... Oh, they're gone! See if we can get the armor into Orel. We actually might, and then just get the infantry to keep filtering in behind us so we never really get encircled. Orel is a good place to sit because of the supply hub. and move south. Go, 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 go. Keep moving, keep moving. Stop reinforcing it. And that is Orel taken. And from that salient, I'll push my tanks further south. I'll have to plug... No, don't even have to plug it into my railway. It is already plugged in. Might need to upgrade the railway links, but that's just a small inconvenience, which means I should probably be hiring Iron Lazar next. I'm running low on manpower, but I can recruit a whole lot more just by liberating my own land. Perfect. Now from Orel down to Kursk and Kharkov, and then from the south here, we'll also push up towards Kharkov. Doesn't look like we'll be able to take Kursk, but I can set up to take it in next step. Now preparations for the push from Kharkov and to Stalino. The enemy concentration of troops here is pretty thick though, so it's, once we broke through, it stopped being thick. Well, that's nice. And then head down to Kharkiv. Let's go, 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 go. We meet. Are we gonna meet? It looks like the tips are gonna touch. Entire central German army group encircled. Tanks hold that door open. And I'm not gonna wait to use the tanks to close this up. Infantry, get going. Kill that. End it. Of course, the tanks are very welcome to help if they want to, but oh yeah, if we can just stop that from closing or opening back up, that's a good pocket. Oh, so many Germans dying. Oh, yes. Sweet. That was a lot of divisions. I want to check the casualties here. 150,000 from that one pocket, 50,000 from another pocket. Like, the numbers here are staggering. And using tanks, you barely lose any manpower getting it done. Manpower really isn't a concern anymore. So I'm going to push from here to take Rzhev, then from Rzhev down to Smolensk, and here first Bryansk, then Smolensk, and we'll see where we can go. Well, if I can't take Rzhev from the east, I will take it from the west. Tanks are getting into position, and we're gonna go for a nice big strike here. That should clean up another significant portion of the enemy army. I am gonna need to reconfigure my front lines after this because they are no longer perfectly balanced. Fortunately, Germany and definitely Italy are probably quite busy with the allies now, which is very welcome. Greece has held on surprisingly well, too. Close it, close it, close it, close it, close it, close it. Ah! Central army group has been encircled, but it's important that we just hold that door open or closed, however you want to look at it. We'll quickly use the tanks and the infantry, of course, to terminate this encirclement, and we can move on. This is what it feels like to win. It feels good. Significant blow to the German army. Once again, casualties-wise, we've lost 1.6 million, so our losses haven't really mounted all that much since I took over. Well, 1 million men, but we have killed 4.7 million Germans already. That's not even counting anyone else. Well, to be fair, no one else has really contributed. Such a beautiful collapse. That's probably another 50-ish divisions wiped out. How is Germany looking? I still got a lot of divisions, but less than we started. Even an extremely buffed Germany is still just an AI Germany in this case, so they're not gonna stand up and fight. I'm gonna try and take Kiev, and then from Kiev go south to Mykolaiv. It's just a prestige project. You have to retake Kiev. Oh, come on, 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 come on. It's a major river, though. If they're guarding it, I'll be in a spot of trouble. Ooh, they're guarding it. I'm also pushing past where I can reasonably supply my own troops again. I do this to myself every time. A relentless drive east continues. I don't think they can stop me if I really set the entire army to move. I'm gonna see if I can brush through here and get the Zhytomyr. It's a good hub to have, get some supply, and then from Zhytomyr, if we can get there, I can head to Mykolaiv and create a very big cauldron. Holy shit, we got there. All right, south it is then, to Vinnytsia. Keep redeploying the infantry so that there aren't any gaps behind our lines. I don't want to get encircled in this incredibly dumb way. And for Vinnytsia, I just need to drive south towards Odessa, and that would be, oh, if I could do that. Oh, if I could do that, I'm gonna have such a laugh. This is so dumb. This shouldn't be possible, but it is, and here we are. We're gonna take Odessa. Oh my... You have that. I have everything here between Dnipropetrovsk, Kiev, and Crimea trapped. They don't have any ports. They don't have any supply, and we are going to kill them all. Oh, this is gonna be so costly to the Germans and all of their lapdogs as well. I think that's the majority of the Romanian army, actually. I don't think they'll have a lot left. Maybe I should make that my next stop. Romania. Here it's nice this time of year. The fall of Vladivostok. What? What? Again, what? I don't even know how to phrase this. What? That is a pickle. Let's clean up the north. When I have the troops ready to be deployed, I'll just deploy them all in the Far East and forget about them until we've defeated Germany. I am going to take a Germany first approach to this problem. Memel is not well defended. Neither is the other place. Yes. We got Memel. We got Palanga. We got Palanga. We got the entire northern section. They're not technically encircled because they do have a lot of ports. Follow up with an infantry offensive. It's going to be expensive, but I want to pin these units. I don't want them getting away. I want to get as many of these divisions trapped as possible. Oh, I was distracted looking somewhere else. And yeah, we're going to get another stupid pocket in. Feels like they've stopped defending themselves. Another good batch of German units are going to be wiped out. This is almost cleaned up, and then I'm going to set up back Northern Army, Southern Army, and we're just going to go for it. I need to get my slice of Germany in. Start driving into Germany proper before the Allies take too much of it. It will be very disappointing if I didn't even get my pound of flesh out of this. It will be Russian tanks who take Berlin. No one else. Casualties? Acceptable. Yeah, like I said, there's no German army left to really oppose me, so I'm not fussed. This is over. So Germany is going to collapse. We are building railways over in the Far East. Hopefully they will hold. And then we'll ferry... Oh god. Well, since Germany's dead anyway, let's start peeling some units over to the other side of the world, shall we? There we go. Germany falls. Let's just take our pound of flesh, which includes the navies. I want everyone's ships because I need to get to Japan next. And then we'll just start puppeting some things. We got Bulgaria. We got Romania. We got Hungary, the Czechoslovakia, Poland, and a slice of Germany. So we have the Soviet occupation zone of Germany and the German Republic. That can only go well. British Italy, British Albania and Albania. Okay. They just decided to rip Kosovo out of Yugoslavia. Considering I sent so many ships over here, none of them, almost none of them made it. It's so annoying. Annoying doesn't really do it justice. It's just so bad. So many vessels lost just trying to get here, and I still need the rest of the fleet to get there. I need to get into Japan. Well, that is Japanese presence on the mainland cleaned up. About as cleaned up as it's gonna get. I'll just have to get to Japan now. I had hoped to use my stolen fleet. Unfortunately, my stolen fleet's just this. They sank everything. Absolutely everything. And I have to start production from scratch. It looks like I won't need to invade Japan. The UK seems to have the situation well in hand. This is honestly the first time I see the UK do this. Usually it's America, because the USA has the big fleet in the area and really only focuses its fleet on Japan, but the UK apparently knows how to invade. Okay. Japan has perished. What can I take? The fleet as repayment, I guess. I don't really have a lot of scores, so we'll just take their ships. And there we go. Japan is dealt with. We have our stuff back. It looks horrific. So Hirohito got to keep Tokyo. Shishiro Osumi got the rest of Japan for some reason. I don't know why the AI does this. China got Hokkaido, and it's all just, I don't even want to talk about it. We did get our repayment, so managed to take pretty much all of Japan's remaining carriers, the remaining battleships, some heavy cruisers, some battle cruisers. The Red Fleet is rebuilt. The Soviet Union is more powerful than ever before, and the Comintern is poised to strike at the Allies should the need arise. I think we brought this back from the brink. June 1945, not a bad place to end things. So, yeah. Next time you want to play the Soviet Union, build more troops, make better use of your industry. That's really all there is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will enjoy this next one as well. See ya.